Good afternoon. My name is Kireeti Singam Setty, and I'm the Director of Marketing at True Blue Drugstores. And today I'm going to address how to turn in vaccine recipients into lifetime customers. So our agenda for today. I'm first going to define the situation. I will then explain competition in the context of our situation. Then I will talk about our customer acquisition and retention strategy from a corporate lens and an employee level lens. Then we'll look at the ethics of customer relationship management from start to finish. And finally, we'll conclude. So let's start with the situation. TrueBlue sells general merchandise, various food and beverages, beauty supplies, household goods, and most importantly, it has a full service pharmacy. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, TrueBlue has been licensed to give out vaccines. And these vaccines are being given out to existing TrueBlue customers, customers of our competitor drugstore, FDC, as well as people who don't use drugstores at all. So our goal is to turn all of these people into lifelong customers of TrueBlue. So with that in mind, let's look at what competition really means, especially between TrueBlue and FDC. So a competition is a contest or rivalry among companies. So this means 1, selling similar products, and 2, targeting the same target audience. And FDC definitely does this. They're nearly identical in their product selection, and the same customers go to both TrueBlue and FDC. And against competitors, we also have 2 goals. The first is to get more sales and increase revenue, which will then second, capture a larger market share. And with competition among similar companies, whenever one company gets $1, the other company loses $1. As such, it's very important that we move against FTC in a very fast and effective manner to gain their customers. So now let's talk about our customer acquisition and retention strategy. We first need to look through the eyes of our customer. As a customer walks into the store, the first thing they will see is the door to enter. Immediately after taking one step into the door, they will then see the initial display of items. They will then enter the walkway and take whatever path is needed in order to get to the vaccine center. They will then receive the vaccine and then travel the same path in reverse. So our goal is to somehow break this flow. In between this flow, we need the customer to walk into an aisle, to look at a product or buy a product and sign up for a membership card as possible. So let's look at the ways we're going to do this. So first, let's look at our corporate level. So the first thing we can do is list all of our membership benefits on the door. This will be very unlikely that it will convince someone to sign up for the card. However, it will start the process of stimulating their brain to be more receptive to other marketing tactics in other parts of the store. Next, after the person walks into the store, we need to have the item that's on the most sale, as well as the most probable selling item in the initial display. A study by Walmart found that putting the most probable selling item in the initial display versus putting no item there at all had a 43% increase for first-time customer sales. Next, we need to fragment and obstruct the path to the pharmacy where the vaccine is being administered. If a person, right after they walk through the door, if they see directly where the vaccine center is, they'll just walk there and ignore everything on their way there and just get the vaccine. As such, we need to make it so that the people have to walk through aisles or walk through a path where they are forced to look at items and other marketing signs. And this is a tactic that Costco uses. If you walk into a Costco store to the entrance, the only way to exit is through making a full lap and a full lap or at least a partial lap where you're forced to see at least 200 different products. So we need to follow a similar solution. And we can also put items on sale on aisle ends as people are not likely to look into the aisle. However, it is very possible that they will see the items on the ends of the aisle. As such, they are likely to buy these items. Next, after the person walks to the vaccine area and talks with the nurse there, we need to make them sit down while the nurse registers and get ready for their vaccine. And while they're waiting for the vaccine, we need to have another membership benefits sign there. This is because people are far more likely to read signs when they're stationary. And when they read the sign, they're more likely to sign up for the membership card. And lastly, to maintain these customer relationships, we need to follow up by email, either through emails we received through the vaccine sign up or through the membership card sign up. And the key here in our strategy is repetition. A study from Kroger in 2016 found that customers are 80% more likely to sign up for rewards cards if shown benefits more than once. So that's why we're going to show it at the door, near the vaccine, and also spread across other parts of the store, like the cashier area. Now let's look into what we can do at an employee level. Employees need to be trained to be conversational, but at the same time being professional. They need to connect with the customer, so they need to notice and act on subtleties. For example, if they see someone walking with a UT hat, then the employee can connect with that customer and ask them what they thought about the recent football game or what they thought on UT losing out on March Madness. So with this, the customer is more likely to be responsive to the employee. As such, the employee can suggest items and prompt customers to get a rewards card, and the customer will be much more likely to act on their suggestion. But even with any customer relationship management plan, we need to look at the ethics. So what are ethics? Ethics are moral principles that guide behavior. For example, if I see litter on the ground, it's ethical behavior to pick up the litter and throw it in the trash. And so there are three types of ethics when looking at customer relationship management. So there's interpersonal ethics, sourcing and social ethics, as well as statistical ethics. So with interpersonal ethics, we need to take a very top to bottom approach. Upper management needs to be very ethical when speaking with other people, and this will slowly trickle down the employee chain when it comes directly to employees that are speaking with customers. And in this scenario, interpersonal ethics relates to following social norms and showing professionalism like we addressed before. So for example, this can include employees talking to people of all races and all socioeconomic status in a professional manner. Next, we're going to look at sourcing/social ethics. So a survey online found that 12% of customers said that corporate social responsibility is the number one concern when evaluating which store to choose. And we can improve our ethics in this area by focusing on community outreach to make sure we're doing our part to help the community, as well as hiring these community members in our staff to make sure that our brand name has a good reputation throughout the local community. And next, we also need to source smart. So what this means is getting goods from suppliers who follow proper environmental protocols, as well as take the correct steps to protect their labor. And the last part of our ethics relates to the last step of our customer relationship management. And this is actually collecting and evaluating the data to see if the steps we've taken actually had a good effect. So there's two types of issues here. First, we have systematic issues. Systematic issues are mainly caused by human error in data collection. And we can solve this by asking neutral questions on data collection surveys and removing sampling bias. Removing sampling bias can be done by weighting populations equal to the population of the United States. For example, if 50% of our survey responses are coming from people of Hispanic origin, but the overall population of the United States has only 20% of population of Hispanic people, then the survey is going to be biased towards one ethnic group. As such, we can weight different parts of the population to match the overall population, to match the overall percentage of the population they represent. And second, we have non-systematic issues, and this comes from sampling variance. For example, if you ask Bob what he thought of product A on Monday, versus if you ask him about product A on Tuesday, he might have a completely different response. And to solve this issue, we're going to resample from our original sample to draw a wider conclusion. And this statistical technique is going to give us a 95% confidence interval so that we can truly see what our data represents. Now let's conclude this presentation. Our goal was to create loyal customers, and our solution looked at a customer acquisition and retention strategy, mainly through marketing techniques, which helped us build and maintain relationships with customers while staying ethical from start to finish. Thank you.